Welcome to Something to Marvel About, a podcast where we discuss and dissect the week's MCU releases. My name's English Dave, and helping me navigate the Witch's Road is my co-host, Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, nerds? I just did a sign of the cross for whoever can't see.
Did you take your shoes off?
Nope, but they're already off.
Okay. Because if we're gonna traverse the Witch's Road, you got to be ready and prepared. We're here today, as the headline to this podcast alludes, to discuss episodes 1 and 2 of new Marvel Studios, and actually Marvel Television. It's the first Marvel television
It's
show.
true.
We had the new intro and everything. I like the intro.
It was nice.
It's very nice. Though I'm curious if anyone under a certain age will understand the subtleties of that intro.
Of course not. Even it took me a second. I had to peel it back, and then I was like, "Oh, that's the cover of the Iron Man one." And then, okay, I started tracing the comics. But yeah, most people are just gonna see a flash of color.
But not just that, like subtle things like like tube TV scan lines.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, is that a visual certain people will recognize?
Impossible. Their brains won't have they won't be able to associate that with the thing.
Right.
They'll just be like, "Oh, that's a cool graphic. Is that a
Right.
TikTok filter or Instagram? Whatever." Am I showing my age?
Right.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
it like I see scan lines, but they grew up in a world of HD TV. What are scan lines?
Huh?
I mean,
Scan.
what is that?
It's actually crazy.
Before we go into the actual episodes itself, Andrew, give us your spoiler-free thoughts. Let us know what you're expecting going in, what you thought the show was going to be, and after 2 episodes, what you think the show is going to deliver.
Well, I came in. I mean, I had seen the trailers, and the trailers felt slightly darker than I expected, which I feel like is a little bit welcome based on the recent Marvel TV showings. But long story short, I'm actually quite enjoying it. I think the first 2 episodes were pretty good. I think Agatha herself is really just an excellent actress, right? Episode 1 started off a little slow, but intentionally so. And I think when it picked up, I really enjoyed episode 2, and just all the banter with her and some of the characters is also really good, right? I think that's really helping with the show. The tone is interesting. I think that's where I'm a little because it's Marvel playful, but then darker than I would expect a kid to be watching. Maybe, I don't know. I think I find the tone. I'm not going to say inconsistent, but it's very light and dark, right? Not just like a grayish area. But yeah, I'm curious to see more. Again, no spoilers. They've started on a journey that I feel like, again, they could do absolutely anything, and even based on the little horror elements they showed, I feel like it could definitely get spooky, like super spooky. So I'm curious to see how dark are they gonna go, especially based on the fact, like we just said, this is free territory for them to basically explore the character. And again, once again, I'm just gonna praise Catherine for her Agatha performances. I think she really, especially by episode 2, she showed us, I guess, why she earned a spin-off based off WandaVision, because she was really a powerhouse in that show. I just love her sarcastic, strong, willed sense of being. It's so nice to see on screen. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna get even better. Because episode 1 was slightly slow, but intentionally, and I just want to see how it ramps up from here.
Yeah, I think my feelings kind of line up a lot with your feelings. Episode 1 does take its time, and narratively it makes sense by design. So it also makes sense why they started this show with a 2-episode premiere.
Yeah,
because it's almost as if it's really starting episode 2, and even then we're still seeing where it goes. I think for me, I'm curious about this show, but it's not. Again, this is probably by design. We're slowly kind of getting pulled into the narrative. I'm not at the point yet where I can say to somebody who isn't watching it, "Hey, you should watch this show
now."
because." I couldn't tell you the because unless you're already somebody who was already interested in watching it. Right?
Yeah.
If you're interested in watching Marvel stuff and you like watching Marvel stuff, I would say, yeah, give it a watch.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't watch and you just heard of it, I've heard of this Marvel show, should I watch it? I'd have to watch more to tell you why you should watch it.
Yeah.
Outside of the cast, I think the cast is solid. Like you said, Catherine Hahn continues to show why she's perfect, just eating up this role. But we spoke about this off podcast. What I like is that this, at least for now, doesn't seem like it's a redemption story for her.
Nope.
She's still who she is, and she's not watered down or
No,
diluted in any
not
form,
at
which I
all.
like. She's still the villain. You could root for villains against other villains or against other
Exactly.
situations, but
Yeah.
she's not out here to save the world,
No.
and I don't want that either, which I
Yeah.
like about this character. Um, I agree with you. I think the tone. I don't know, and this could be a good thing. I don't know what its parameters are
Yeah.
for
It's
like
hard to
horror
put
and
in.
things like that, and where do you find that balance? I think what they've showed us does balance correctly. I just don't know how far the parameters are. Like
Yeah.
they have set rules for horror. This is how far we go horror. This is how
Hmm.
far we go with the comedy. This is how far we go. I don't know what the limits are, and I think we'll find that out with more episodes. I was impressed because I knew that they would have musical elements in this, especially with how famous Agatha all along the song was.
Yeah, that was good.
I was worried at first, but I won't say what song it is in the spoiler-free segment. But there is a song musical moment in one of the episodes, and it actually hit me a lot harder than I
It's
thought.
catchy.
I
Catchy.
was like, okay, I'm in this. And not
Hmm.
just the catchiness of it all, the situation as well. Right.
Hmm.
It worked for the situation. It didn't feel like,
Yeah.
sometimes with music, it just feels jarring to be like, oh, and now
Yeah.
we break into song.
Yeah.
It's like,
It
what?
wasn't. It wasn't that.
No, it made contextual sense, even if this wasn't billed as having musical elements, just having this
Hmm.
one musical moment would have still made sense in
Yeah.
the context of it. And I've been just humming that music throughout the whole thing. And fun fact, if you pay attention, characters, including Agatha herself, throughout various points in the first two episodes, hum that music for
Hmm.
various reasons.
Like
Those are
right at
nice,
the beginning,
yeah,
actually.
right, nice little touches. But no, I'm in so far. I'm still seeing where it's going to go. I'm a bit apprehensive with Marvel TV shows after a Secret Invasion burnt me so badly. I was so excited for that, so
Like
I'm a bit more
such a
apprehensive.
disappointment.
All right, let's get into spoilers. But yeah, those who
Let's
haven't
go
seen it, check it out. I would say
see it.
if you're someone who's listening to this podcast, you're probably going to be interested in the show.
Correct.
Yes.
Talking to you.
All right, let's get into spoilers. We talked about the first episode being slower, but it's slow for a reason because again,
Very intentional.
it's Agatha still stuck within this hex that she was cursed to live in at the end of WandaVision, and this time she's where Wanda was going through various era sitcoms. It seems like, at least for what we've seen, Agatha's going through crime shows. And in this one,
Hmm.
it's a crime show that's similar to the show Mayor of Easttown with the intro of True Detective. What did you think of that whole opening?
I guess because I could instantly attribute it to those shows, especially True Detective, which I really enjoyed, by the way. It was nice, and it. I remember my wife and I were like, "Is this the right show?" Because it felt so like
It goes fully in.
it really did, and I guess because I remember that Wanda basically trapped her in her own mind. So I kind of had an idea that okay, she's probably she's in a genjutsu for you, my Naruto fans, or she's basically in her mind. She's locked in, but still, it was such a even her like not her acting, but like her demeanor was so like it's clear that this person is a fish out of water, kind of,
Mhm,
right? Like it felt jarring in a good way. Is my point? Like it was like this is
mhm,
not what this show is about, right? Like obviously not. And then just the way it slowly peeled back, and then with the with the entry of Rio, played by
mhm,
Aubrey, for my Parks and Recs fans out there. Um, then you started to peel it back a little bit, and leading up to their fight, and basically I liked the pacing in hindsight, right? When I was
mhm,
watching it at
mhm,
first, my wife definitely made a comment as to like, this isn't the Agatha we love, like she was waiting for the confident Agatha, which same, but again it all kind of led to specifically why she was there. And I enjoyed the scene with her ripping off her clothes and
Love
changing
that.
to different outfit each time, and then ending up black and white. And so I think that was a cool little Power Rangers transformation morphing morphing scene for her. So yeah, it was a nice nod to those shows. Like I said, I really enjoyed True Detective, and just even the banter is so typical with those shows.
That
Um,
it's funny then when in hindsight a lot of the things that happen when she first meets Herb at the police do not cross line,
yeah,
and the first thing he says is hello neighbor,
Mm.
and you realize in real life he's just talking to her from across over the side of the fence.
Yeah,
where he lives. You
Like,
know,
which is funny.
that line, that police tape is just a fence line. Things like that. Or later on when she's like, "Let's get in the car," she's like, "Wait,
Like,
this is not a car."
no, like, huh? Car? No, it was so funny. Even like when she showed the guy the pictures, like
Yeah.
who tell me, and he's like, those are flowers, ma'am. Like what?
Why do you keep talk? Why do you keep
Like,
talking to the painting?
like to the what? No, I think I feel like, oh, I've seen a lot of shows, fine, where somebody is either trapped in their mind or in another place where they don't know is not reality. And I think they did this one pretty well, right? Like,
Mhm.
they laid the breadcrumbs, but it didn't feel obvious until it was revealed. Even if you knew it was coming, it was like it was like a nice peeling back, and then the Fight Club effect of, if you watch it again, you would
Mhm.
start to see that, oh, that was when this, and oh, like you said, like,
Mhm.
oh, there was no police line, blah blah blah. It's actually, yeah, it was quite good up until her little naked naked march march out. I love when he gave her the jacket and she's like,
She's like
she's like,
just
just
throwing it
threw
out.
it off.
You're right.
She's just, yeah, like, it
She's
was it
completely
was nice to see that.
completely oblivious. Again, I love that sequence again because it shows the humor in it all.
Hmm.
It's not her naked for the sexual side of it. It's
No,
it's it's, it's naked for the humor of it, and I love
yeah,
moments like that. And it again shows Kathin Hahn's kind of varied nature to her acting.
yeah,
Because you really believe that she's this person, this evil witch who just woke up
yeah,
and like, what the hell's going on?
like 100%. Like, I don't care about being naked. Like, are you stupid? She's like, I eat babies.
Right. Fun fact. I don't know if you know the answer to this. She's the third MCU character to go bare ass. Who's the first two?
Thor.
Thor and yes.
Wait, wait.
I wonder if there's
First
people screaming
Hem.
screaming at
What?
you. Someone's
Hemsworth? No. Captain
that is
America? No.
nope.
No.
People are
Wait, who is
screaming at you. Someone's saying like, "Come on, you
Robert
idiot!"
Downey? There's no way.
Nope,
Who? Scarlet?
nope.
Oh my gosh,
No,
who?
I'll tell
Oh,
you the
Banner. Banner. Hulk?
Hulk is true.
It
Hulk
has
is
to.
correct.
It has to be Hulk, duh.
It
Like
was
what?
Hulk in Ragnarok when he meets him on Sakaar.
Wait, same movie? Is that when? Isn't that when
No,
Thor?
no.
Wait, Thor was
Thor was
next.
it was the next movie
Next
after
one.
Love and
So
Thunder.
what you're telling me is that two of the three naked scenes have been Thor movies.
Yes, correct.
Okay, okay, Thor. Let's just leave that
Yes.
where it is.
The only movies have been with Thor, and the TV
The
shows
only
with
movies, and then a
Agatha.
show about witches. All right, got it.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the other characters we introduced in episode one. We're introduced to Rio, who I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know if you read into this. I feel like they have a history, clearly,
Hmm.
but I think they also have a romantic history with each other. I don't know to what extent. There's a little flirting going on. I don't know if you read that too. I feel like there's some kind of the rivals also kind of like a scorned heart
Hmm.
kind of history.
Okay, I could
Kind
see
of
that.
broken heart history. That's why Rio
Yeah,
is so mad.
like you
Rio's
left
saying,
me.
right, oh, you did this to me, or we had a plan to do XYZ. You just kind of
We're gonna
just drop
leave this place together.
right, something like that. I
Yeah.
think there's a history behind them. Also, it's interesting that they mentioned about not being able to kill each other, but more.
Uh,
It
uh,
sounded more as in like not allowed to kill each other.
yeah, like she said, Agatha literally said you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Which, by who? Is that by the Coven? Is that like supernatural forces?
Is that a general witches rule, or is it just for these two?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Is that a pact between yourselves? Like, what's going on here? I need to
Hmm.
know these things so I can pray against them.
But I did like their dynamics together. I think Aubrey Plaza and Kathy Han have great dynamics together. So
Great.
seeing them on screen, even the little fight scene was kind of cool to see that.
Even
Um,
little moments, because like how she'd be like playing along. Like
mhm.
she'd look at her and be like, "Okay, I mean, let's get back to the case. I mean,
Right, right,
since
right.
you're so stuck on this case, let's talk about it. Sure, if you really
And
believe that."
almost trying to kind of remind her that this isn't real
Hmm.
throughout,
But without
which is
without
interesting
screaming
because
it.
though, because throughout the episode, I think it was episode two, Teen, the kid with no name so
Yeah,
far, mentions, "Oh yeah, this is why I wanted to free you from this." So he assumes that he freed her from this thing,
yeah,
but could have also have been Rio,
maybe, or maybe she helped him.
or maybe they work together. I don't know, but we shall
Many,
find
many
out.
questions. Many questions.
Right, right. I liked when every time she'd leave, she'd be like, "Te veo." It means I see you in
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah.
So what does that mean? I see you. Huh? Huh? And she even says, "Do you remember why you hate me?"
She's
So
like,
what's that?
no.
Doesn't remember. No,
She's like,
don't
no.
know
She's like,
that.
okay, okay.
We're introduced to the kid, the teen, the kid with no name. Whenever he tries to say his name, M comes, can't hear it.
First time it threw me off though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy they asked it. I'm happy Agatha had the same expression I did because it was definitely like
What?
Sorry, did
Did I
you
lose my
just have
hearing?
the? Was it the Matrix? There's a movie that had that. It was the Matrix, right?
Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the mouth closed. But
yeah,
this time, he's not aware of it. Though it
yeah.
seems like she's the only one that's aware of it. Even later on when he's
Like,
talking in the car from where he's from, it seems like other people might hear it. Just she's the
yeah.
only one that can't. The thing on his lips, the writing, it either looks like a letter M, which could be seen as Maximov, which is Wanda's last name. Some
Dum
people
dum
are
dum.
thinking Mephisto. They're bringing those.
We're always thinking Mephisto. That's why I like any Doctor. Oh my god, Doctor Strange, WandaVision. Like I was with the internet
Mephisto.
on Reddit too, being like, oh my gosh, they're building up to Mephisto, and then the finale,
Mephisto.
and it's like, so yeah. Come on, he has to be here. He has to be.
And it also looks like a WM overlapping, which could also be Wanda
Wanda
Maximoff,
Maximoff.
which a lot of people on the internet, which I don't hate it, are playing with the idea that Teen might actually be a grown-up version of Billy, one of Wanda's
Dum dum
fake
dum
sons, who ends
dum
up
dum.
becoming a wizard in the comics and part of the Young Avengers. So you never know. Maybe,
Yeah, good
maybe.
transition way. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. The kid teen, he grew on me in his acting, his
Mhm,
demeanor, even when they were trying to convince Jennifer, the witch who was working in the shop.
mhm,
He closed the deal. Like she showed her the like news thing, and I'm like, oh,
mhm.
is this you? So like I like that he basically my point is he's not just like a side character who's not having
Mhm.
influence. Like I'm happy that he also kind of is showing his own merit, and I think his acting has also been pretty good. Even at the end when when those like dementors when the
Oh,
witches came to Agatha,
Salem 7.
yeah, it was so funny. He was down those stairs. He was just like,
He's out.
he's like, what are you guys doing here? There's a door
Is that
here.
the road? Okay, that's it. Let's go.
Like, so
I
that
like when
was funny.
Agatha says to Mrs. Hart, "What did your gut tell you?" Oh, okay
She's
then.
like, Mrs. Hart. I was so happy to see her. Like again, I
Right.
recognize you. That 70s show is a show I used to watch a good amount of, not like religiously, but I did enjoy that show. It was a good show, and I'm always
I think
happy to see Deborah Jorup.
she was great. There was even a sequence when they were like, before they started singing, "Who wants to go high?" He's like, "No, not me. I'm not
She's
ready
like,
yet."
no, yeah, that was funny. And even when they were singing, and like each time the camera went to her, she was just like, she was
And
like,
it's funny
just
because
yeah,
the way I don't know if this is by design, but the way the camera would pan in the circle reminded me of that 70s show when they had their smoking circle.
yeah,
The camera pans around to the next person, pans around to the next person,
yeah,
and just seeing her
nostalgic.
just jumping along to that. And I did like, we talked about this in the spoiler free segment. I think the Witches Road song hit really well. I was
I
just
tell
into it.
you,
I was like,
pray.
okay, like
I
all of
was
them. I
literally
mean,
praying.
a lot of these actors playing the witches do have, especially someone like Patti LuPone, have a Broadway history.
Mm.
Catherine Hahn herself has a history with music. So like this was a place for these actors to really showcase their singing chops, and it hit hard.
Yeah,
And even juxtaposing that with the sequence with the Salem 7 arriving and just like
yeah.
glitching and things like that, I was like, oh shit, that is scary.
No,
You know?
it actually, and that was the second episode, and that like if they really want to go all in, this show could definitely get super spooky, and the trailer
Mhm,
kind of alluded to that a little bit,
mhm.
because yeah, Salem 7, I was like teen, I was like, no, no, nope,
We
nope,
have to
nope,
go.
nope, nope,
No,
nope, nope,
even
nope.
Herb was like, "What is that? Oh hell!"
Oh
He didn't
yeah,
say, "Oh hell no." He should have said, "Oh hell no," but
he
he was
actually
like,
should have.
"Oh."
Yeah, that's
He
so
drops
funny.
it. I love it. As the black man who sees it is like, "Nope."
Nope.
I'm out.
Yeah. Like again, realistic,
Yeah.
realistic.
Doesn't stop
Uh,
to be like, what's that? What's going? Hey,
no,
who
no
are you?
questions, no nothing. Like I don't need to know.
I am out.
Yeah, Arab was good too in his little class. I feel like we'll see more of him maybe.
Yes, yes. I liked his character. One thing I found interesting as well, it's kind of a nitpick for me. I found that it whizzed past very quickly into introducing the other witches of the coven. We don't really know their motivations fully.
For
And
joining this hunt.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know, I like the idea that Agatha, her motivation was like, this door's not going to open, but if I can piss them off enough to shoot me, I can get
that
their
was
powers.
that was excellent though.
That was smart.
Yeah, when
I like
Lilia
that.
figured it out, Naita was like, hee. You got me. But like you said, I feel like that's the reminder that like, yeah, this isn't the Wizard of Oz,
No,
right? Like this
no,
is a villain trying to be villainous after waking up from a 3 year coma of not being able to villain, right?
right,
Like she's a cranky villain, but
right.
still like super smart. Because yeah, I think we saw one of them spark, right? Like her
Hmm.
left hand sparked a little bit.
Yeah,
What's her name?
yeah,
Alice played
yes.
Alice played by Ali. Funny. Yes, just that little spark. I don't know why it was giving me like it felt like how to explain it, like heroes but not heroes.
Oh, we just see
I don't know what you
the
mean.
fist
Yeah,
just
yep.
powering up. Yeah,
So,
yeah. I can see where you're coming from. That I did like that. Just kind of like, and even when they were like, she's trying to trick us. You
hmm.
get a sense in the head. She's like, yes, I am. Shoot me for trying to trick you.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly right. Oh my god, don't you hate me? I'm the worst. Attack me. She's like, attack me, damn it.
Because she really
That's
did.
so
I don't
good.
think she really truly believed that the road is going to work.
Yeah,
Right? It was just let's just tell them what they want to hear. But
yeah.
then she's that's shocked when the door opens, which I'm surprised. Though you can look at it both ways. Where does it mean that Mrs. There's something up with Miss Hart, or does the coven just need a group of women? It doesn't have to all
Yeah,
be witches.
yeah.
Don't know. Find out.
I'm
Would you like that?
intrigued.
I don't know which I prefer. For by the end of it, Mrs. Hart is just a regular person who got
I, I,
caught up in all of
I,
this.
or she turns out to be Mephisto.
Oh, there's something to her. Even if she doesn't even know, there might be either latent abilities she doesn't know
Maybe.
about, or
Yeah.
she's keeping a bigger secret. What I will say is, I don't. This could be again. This is me going super nerd reaching in. In the original WandaVision, when we realized that Wanda was putting a hex on everyone in this town, she was the first and only person to have a moment where she breaks out of the spell without any help or
Hmm.
interference. She's like, stops,
Hmm.
like, please help me, then goes back into the spell. Everybody else either had help from someone or something happened. It wasn't just their own doing. I don't know if
Mephisto
that's
confirmed. That's all I
I
need.
don't know if that's confirmed.
That's it. Mephisto
I'm
is
just
Mrs.
saying what
Hart.
I'm seeing.
I agree with you. Though. I think it would also be. I do kind of hope she has latent. I'm a big fan of like, oh, surprise. But it would be so funny if she's just a lady who
I
wanted to
just
go to a party and
I just
it's
got
not.
caught up in this. I feel like purely because of who the actor is, that would be hilarious and perfect.
Yeah,
Like only her can play that kind of character. Just like I'm caught up in this, but I have no idea what the
like,
fuck's going on.
but like, I'm just gonna roll with it because like
But
there's
whatever.
there's
I
no
have
exit.
friends.
Yeah, like, and they can sing really really well actually.
She's like, "Am I supposed to know the lyrics to this?"
That was yeah. Her one liners were like I feel like not they weren't loud but they were powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, oh, "Okay." I did like some of the one-liners where what was it? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, when Agatha's talking to the teen, she's like, "What were you looking for in my house?" He's like, "The respect of your peers in a fulfilling home life, but you were fresh out of both."
Yeah, it's like zing, like
I was like,
but like
"Oof,
whoa, like I
ouch!"
wasn't expecting that at all.
Right, right. So expectations again, like you said, because this is a show that's playing with a character that doesn't have a deep history, even though it has an old history.
Yeah,
Where do you think the show will go? I'll tell you what the internet is saying. Okay, the internet is saying one of two things. One, which I already mentioned, that it's setting up something that could be connected to Young Avengers with Billy.
Billy.
People also suggest that this could also lead to the Marvels kind of monster uh, 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 occult side of the universe, which is known as the Midnight Suns. So, my question to you is, even if you don't know about those specific things, do you think we're going to get any kind of known cameos from characters that we know of, or is it going to take us into this new direction that we have yet to see, or both?
I both one. I do not believe Marvel can resist a cameo. Um, it
But
just
how deep is it?
that's the question. Like I would be down for new cameos, and by new cameos I mean like a Ghost Rider Easter egg, a Blade Easter egg,
Mhm.
Constantine. This is in DC, whatever. I don't know where we are. Like I want all the Easter eggs, right? Like just just throw it in there. Because I think one of maybe you kind of touched on it. I almost don't like when with new IP you try and force it into the old, right? Like,
Mhm.
sure, it'd be cool to mention Thor, but like, we always mention Thor, like that's boring. Let's, go all in, like you've said, right? Like, let's see more of this like haunted side, Marvel zombies and things, right? Like, let them all live in, and Doctor Strange can kind of dip in and out, right? Of the universes a little bit, just because I feel like there is like daytime Marvel and now there's nighttime Marvel, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like
Mhm.
this could be the start or like a big chunk that carves out that nighttime Marvel, right? Like where not everything is haha go haha. It's yeah, sometimes it's pretty spooky and deep into the occult to be honest.
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
but again, I think it serves just for like I too get not tired. I love seeing like the stories I know like retold on TV, but I also love just watching something where I literally I do not know what's going down that road. I have no
Mhm.
idea I literally do not, minus the trailers, I have no expectation where I can say, oh, they're probably gonna end up at the yellow brick road and see the Wizard of Oz. No, I do not know, and I want them to lean heavily into that, right? Like
Mhm.
go all out. Let's see what it's all about, and actually give us a chance to like these characters and new stories, and things can spin off from there. And I do suspect or hope that we also get more backstories into each of the other ones that have joined on this
Mhm.
trip. Um, and Teen especially. I don't want to be disappointed with Teen's reveal. I don't think I will be, but I'm
Mhm.
going to phrase it like that, right? I
Mhm.
wanted to. I kind of wanted to live up to the building hype of like,
Mhm.
why is this guy being being censored, right?
Yeah.
Like what
Who's
is
doing the
it?
censoring?
Who exactly? It's Mephisto. But like, what? What is this and why? And not gonna lie, man, is that I would not. I love how they have like Doctor Strange without showing Doctor Strange now. Like once you show the circle, it's a Doctor Strange cameo to me, right? Like just like Marvel, Deadpool and
Marvel Sparkle
Wolverine, right?
Circles thingy.
Literally, it's just I like when the theme, when there are thematic Easter eggs. It doesn't have to be a character, right? But like just show, like how they mentioned the Darkhold, which is from a previous
Mhm.
movie, and WandaVision. But in similar veins, yeah, like I said, I kind of want them to go all in and sprinkle the old cameo, but like set up for sure. Like Ghost Rider, I didn't love the Nicolas Cage movies, but I enjoyed them back then, maybe because we were starving for
Mhm.
content. But I watched the Ghost Rider that was in Agents of Shield.
I like that. Robbie Reyes.
I thought he was good. I almost wanted him to be kept. Wait,
Yep.
was he kept? He wasn't, right? I'm pretty sure they bounced everybody. Whatever. I
Yeah.
wanted him to translate to the big screen, but my
Agreed.
point is, I do want them to now. Like, I think this show is going to show them that there's an appetite for some of the again darker side of the heroes and villains,
Mhm.
and I don't want them to kind of pull back based on that. Like, they've separated into Marvel TV for a reason. Like, let that go ham. More TV shows in this vein. I'm for it. I've never been against the shows. I just felt
Mhm.
like they weren't giving them enough.
No, I agree with that. I think it can go anywhere, the cameos. Sometimes Marvel likes to do the big, obvious cameos. Sometimes they'll do something very subtle,
Yeah,
or something left field. We had the Quicksilver from the Fox movies in WandaVision,
that surprised me. But it was
which was
nice.
like out of nowhere. It
Yeah,
was Evan Peters
yeah,
instead of the MCU Quicksilver, which I think was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
yeah.
Um, though they
Craven. Sorry. Just had to-
they might have given us a cameo. That dead body looked awfully lot like Wanda.
Wanda, that's what I was like. Show me, I hate them. Like I was literally there, like show me the
Like trying to look over the shoulder.
face. Show me the face.
And he even says, "Oh, it looks like it was crushed by something heavy." You know, in Multiverse of Madness, it looks like Wanda was crushed by a
Them
building.
rocks.
You know,
Them
but we see a
rocks
flash of
coming to
light
an
just
end.
before she's crushed. We don't know, and even they have a line.
I wonder what they're doing with that. I wonder if we're gonna see Wanda. Would we?
I mean, we could possibly. I mean, if there's a place that would make sense, it would be in this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a line when she's talking to Herb in the fake detective show, when she says she's dead though, Herb, isn't she? And then Herb's like, "Oh, she really is most sincerely dead." And then
Mm-hmm.
Agatha's like, "Well, you never
Well,
know."
you never know. Yeah, I
And
feel
it
like.
almost looks at the camera, saying that. It says like, "Those bastards, they know that we want to eat this up.
Of course, of
They
course.
know."
Like yeah, the Scarlet Witch can't be gone like that. Like no,
No.
like come on, Omega
And this
level
is
mutant.
comics. People can come back. People have died and come back. You know, we talked about alternate realities. Speaking of, I did like the touch of trying to find the book and then going into the library and it's like, oh, it caught on fire. Because you remember in Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah,
Wanda destroys the Darkhold in all realities,
everywhere. Like
every
yeah,
version.
it's
It's a
like.
nice little touch. It's like, oh, can't use the Darkhold anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think right now I'm still curious about this show. Again, I couldn't. If someone says elevator pitch, why is this show good? Tell me. I don't think I could do that just yet. Unless you're already versed in the MCU, and then I'd be like, oh, it's just a new MCU show. Check it out.
Yeah,
But I am curious enough, beyond just for like podcast sake, just for my own personal reasons. I am curious enough to see where it is going.
yeah,
I'm intrigued. I like the cinematography as well. It looks great.
it does. I like how like there's just slices of comedy, right? Like
Mhm.
when she was like, your bank statement will say Lilia's leggings. Like
Yeah.
I like the extra level of thought to some of the
Mhm.
interactions, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
Agatha was guessing her age, and she was like,
Mhm.
410, 415, like years. Like
There's
it's
a part
just
where when she barges into Jen's store
yeah.
and she's like, I need help on my pelvic floor. And then gets the jade balls. It's like for kegels.
I see it. Like exactly. It's like deep.
And she goes to the cover, well, we can split it. Like, that's why it's really pushing like the
Mhm.
adult jokes as well.
Like
She's
I
like,
said, it's like this is not for kids. Anyways, it's not. I guess it's not actually for kids, but at the same time, it's like it's an interesting. It's like what PG-15. I don't like. And then there was a line when she was like, "Oh, Agatha, the most feared, witch on the continent," and he was like, "Name a better bitch in South America or Europe." like, fair enough, man. I mean, I can. I mean, can you? But
right.
yeah. So
And,
I'm actually really excited to see the rapport continue.
and I'm curious, does Teen know all about Agatha because it's, as Teen says, oh, I've loved you. I love hearing stories about you. You're the greatest witch.
Mm,
Or do you know all about Agatha because of reconnaissance reasons?
yeah.
We love Teen, but does Teen have Agatha's best intentions, or is there unseen motives that are more personal? And if Agatha's just has to be hurt in the way, that's what has to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
You know,
Which again, who knows?
who
Who knows
knows?
what Mephisto's plan is? Oh my goodness! But I'm
Right.
excited. Like you said, there are a lot of questions, and I'm actually looking to find out what, why, who.
Mhm.
Okay, more about the characters, even more about Agatha's interactions with the Salem Seven and the likes, and then I guess quote unquote in the back of my mind, I'm also expecting her to prevail to a certain degree, and then we know Rio is going to show up at some point,
Of
right?
course.
And in my guess, will probably five, or Rio probably save her. Be one of those like saves her because like if anyone's going to kill you, it's me,
Hmm.
right? Like type of deal. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it all comes to and who's really pulling all the strings.
I'm
Dun,
curious.
dun, dun.
What do you nerdies think? We've seen 2 episodes of the show. Are you into it? Are you still trying to figure it out? Find us on social media at the Nerdy Bunch, and you can send us an email at our email, the Nerdy Bunch podcast at gmail.com. We'd like to hear your thoughts on what you think the future of this show is going to be. Do you think Mephisto is back, even though he was never around in the first place? But it doesn't matter. We can make things up. What do you think? My name's English Dave. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, David.
And as always,
keep it nerdy.
Peace.